Welcome everybody to the Anchor Folk Club Pantomime 2020. And tonight it's called Little Boxes. Look at that, that was perfect.
But you didn't use the bloody clapperboard.
Oh no! Welcome everybody to the Anchor Folk Club Christmas Pantomime 2020. Gosh. And this year the panto is called Little Boxies, and I can go like this now. Whee! Let's give it one more go, including the... Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Anchor Folk Club Pantomime 2020. This year, the pantomime is called Little Boxes. And we hope you're going to enjoy the masterful way it's been put together. Okay? So, Little Boxes, here we go! Boing!
Alright, that'll do.
Are you muting comfortably? Then I'll begin. Chapter 1. Once upon a time there was an evil baron.
Good, boring.
Quiet! Can't you see I'm talking to the people? Once upon a time there was an evil baron who lived in a broken down, dilapidated, crumbling old ruined castle.
Oh, still boring.
Once upon a time there was an evil baron who lived in a broken down, dilapidated, crumbling old ruined castle, later to become a Premier Inn just off the A24 near Newbury. The castle had a deep, dark, dank dungeon, and in that deep, dark, dank dungeon were some deep, dark, damp, dank, dilapidated cells, and in those cells, dark, damp, dank, dilapidated prisoners. Prisoners who were tortured and abused in indescribable ways, or so it was rumoured.
Go on, now you're talking. Carry on.
Prisoners who were tortured and abused in indescribable ways, that I'm not going to describe now because, well, they're indescribable. And more importantly, they're of no interest to us because it's Christmas. And who wants to hear about that sort of thing so near to Christmas? Now, the Baron's castle was high up in the mountains of never, 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 never under any circumstances whatsoever land, which was a bit like Never Never Land, but not quite so positive in outlook. Now, the Baron had a problem.
What am I to do? I am at my wit's end. I inherited this monstrous castle from my father. It's going to ruin me. It's the upkeep. It's just so expensive, what with the dungeons to fumigate every other year, the torture equipment to be serviced. The health and safety is a nightmare. PPE for the rack operator. You wouldn't believe what it costs these days. How can I generate an ongoing positive revenue cash flow situation? It's beyond me.
The Baron thought long and hard about his problem, but that didn't work. So he thought short and soft for a while, then wide and brittle, then triangular and tepid, hot and cold, in and out, but it was no use. He just couldn't see a way out of his dilemma.
It's no use. I think I'll just pop down to the dungeon for a bit of torturing. Maybe that will help me relax and get the creative juices flowing. I haven't been down there for a while. I wonder how it's going.
So the Baron got onto his electric unicycle and went down to the dungeons to see Neville, his trusty jailkeeper.
Neville, my trusty jailkeeper, how are you?
I am not the jailkeeper, sire. I am the goalkeeper. Me and the lads were just having a kick around to pass the time. I am in goal.
Quite so. But why does it say jailkeeper down there then?
Does it? I cannot see. It is probably just a typo. We get a lot of them around here, you know. Always have. Anyway, it should say goal.
Okay, so who have we got in there today, Neville?
Well, Baron, it is like this.
No. So who's this young fellow here? Right there too well, if ever I saw one.
That is Jacques. He is inside, right?
I can see he's inside all right. He's a prisoner, isn't he? Obviously he's inside right now. Don't take me for a simpleton, Neville.
No, sire. I mean, he plays at inside right in the football team.
I see, but what's he in for, Neville? Any chance I can torture him?
Oh, no. He is not an inmate. That is what you mean. He live here.
What do you mean he lives here? In one of the cells?
That is right, your baronship. Jacques, he live in apartment 3.
Indeed I do, for the moment, but I expect to be moving somewhere more palatial soon. I've lived in far better places than this dump, let me tell you. Neville has promised me the executive suite.
Apartment 3? Executive suite? Let me get this straight. You're telling me Jack lives here? You mean he's not a prisoner?
Oui, yes, that is right.
Executive suite, yes indeed. Oh, it's really more suited to my disposition, I'll have you know. Of course, when I was in Burma, I always stayed in the best castles.
As I was saying, that's right. We haven't had any prisoners here since, let me see, about ages.
Oh, yes, in those days, of course, I was always...
Oh, so who are all these people here then? If they're not prisoners being tortured, what was that howling noise I heard the other night?
Oh, that was just some feedback from one of the guests who forgot to mute themselves. That gives me an idea. Where is that mute button?
Muting, that reminds me of when I had a mute swan. I called him Bernard. He did the funniest things. For example...
So you're telling me you haven't got any prisoners here and you've been renting out the cells to guests?
Oui, yes, Baron, naturellement, of course.
And Neville went on to explain to the Baron that they had no longer any prisoners, that they hadn't had any prisoners for a long while, and that nowadays they let the cells out to guests, and no, he couldn't torture any of them as they all had signed NTAs.
What is an NTA?
The non-torture agreement.
So you mean I can't torture any of them?
No. Afraid not, sorry.
Not any of them? Not even a little bit?
The Baron was sorely put out.
I feel sorely put out.
And not at all happy with this turn of events.
I'm not at all happy with this turn of events.
In fact, he was distinctly unchuffed.
I'm not chuffed at all.
Not to mention slightly peeved, moderately piqued, a teeny bit perplexed, and utterly powerless and unplacatable.
Yes, all of what she said. And to top it all, I'm nonplussed.
I thought we'd decided to leave that one out.
You're right, we did. But on the day it turns out I'm definitely nonplussed.
But Baron, no need to be nonplussed. You've always said I should use my initiative and seize any opportunity to generate ongoing positive revenue cash flow situation.
Yes, I know that, but...
And have you seen the castle coffers recently? They are overflowing. Here, let me show you.
Coffers? Coffers? I don't want to go anywhere near any coffers. Shouldn't they all be socially distancing?
No. Here, let me show you. The coffers are overflowing with the lolly.
Oh, in that case, show me. How much do you think's in there?
Oh, there must be 100 doubloons, which at today's exchange rate is over 10,000 grublets or more. Here, look in this chest.
But there's nothing in here.
What? Let me look. We have been robbed. Some dirty rat has stolen our coffers.
Why do you always blame me?
Quick, pull up the drawbridge. Batten down the hatches, surround the castle. Panic! Panic!
Wait, Baron. Actually, we sold the drawbridge last month to pay for the jacuzzi. Anyway, they can't be far away. Everyone is in lockdown. The thief must still be in the castle.
Then search everyone. And we'll start with the so-called guests in the cells.
So Baron Nebulous Neville set off through the castle, down the collapsing corridors, along the battered battlements, to the creepy but surprisingly spacious cells, each of which affords a panoramic view across rolling countryside and is very convenient for local schools and shops. Full details on request.
Jacuzzi?
I think I better unmute him, I suppose.
And that's how I became the first person to conquer the Zambezi. Where is everyone? What's happened? Where's everyone gone?
Chapter 2. So the Baron and Neville, followed in an appropriately socially distant sort of way by Jack, descended into the dark, damp, dank complex of prison cells, apartments, which, though surprisingly spacious, didn't in truth have the advertised panoramic views over rolling countryside. But hey, what can you do? Shit happens.
Is that Jack fellow following us?
Probably. He's always following people around. He does it all the time. He's very good at it, apparently. He's known locally as Jacques the Meanstalk.
As I was saying only the other day to the Archbishop, I'm really none too keen on these apartment complexes. They give me the willies. In fact, my psychiatrist tells me I have a phobia about apartment complexes.
Ah, you mean to say that you have a complex?
Indeed, yes, and my psychiatrist tells me it's the worst, most convoluted complex he's ever come across.
That makes it very complicated. Complex.
Yes, it's a complex. And what's even worse is that my psychiatrist won't see me anymore because he's developed an aversion to people with my kind of condition.
So, you mean to say that your psychiatrist has got a complex about your complex?
Yes, the poor man's got a complex. And as for his poor wife, she's now suffering with a complex about his complex.
Goodness me. So now she has a complex.
And don't get me started about his son.
No! Neville, where's that mute button? That's better. Stop here a minute, Neville. I just need to shout down to my manservant. He's usually working down this corridor here. He doesn't get out much since I asked him to sort out the settings on my Zoom account for me. Peachy Head, are you there? He never answers. I expect he's deep in his investigations. Oh well, better leave him alone, I suppose.
Oh, I wonder what this button does. Whoops!
The Baron and Neville moved on down to the dark, dank cells.
Right, who have we got here in this first cell? Apartment.
This is where Peter Pan the baker lives. Yes, I always get my French loaves from Peter Pan the baker. He loves his loaves. They're so, so lovely. Such lovely loaves. I just love them. Lovely. Okay, I stop now. I just ring the bell.
Hang on, I'll be out in a moment. I'm bubbling.
That's good. Self-isolating with a friend or relative in a bubble. That's very, very commendable.
No, I'm in the bath. I'm bubbling because I've got this problem with my digestion. That's better. I'm coming out now.
Maybe we should move on.
No. We must search everyone.
Oh, and this one.
No!
Hello, Neville. Hello, Baron. We don't often see you down here. Is anything wrong?
Yes, there is. And I'll come straight to the point. Have you seen my coffers around here?
No, but I did hear someone sneeze the other day. Does that help? See? Sneeze, coffers, sneezing, coughing. Get it?
No!
I'm afraid we're going to get a lot of this sort of thing if you keep asking about coffers.
I'll take that as a no. Let's try next door.
Can I just mention that I can see right up your trouser leg?
You're just a zooming great pervert, you are.
Okay. So who have you let this apartment to?
Let me check. This is Aladdin's place. I'll see if he is in. Hello?
Oh, is that Aladdin?
No, I ain't Aladdin.
Who are you then?
I'm Aladdin's gin, innit?
Jin?
No, gin. DJIN. It's a bit like a genie, but a bit more a bit more posh. And I'm in. Actually, I'm in Aladdin, innit? But Aladdin ain't innit?
Aladdin's Jin says Aladdin ain't in.
Well, ask him when Aladdin will be back in.
When will Aladdin be back in, Jin?
Well, it's like this, innit? He's gone playing cricket with his mate Tintin. They're batting, and Tintin was in, but he got himself out. So Aladdin is in now, innit? And he's only just gone in, so he probably won't be back in until he's out, innit?
I think he said he won't be back until he's out or in. I'm not sure.
Okay, tell him we'll be back when he's out.
The Baron says in that case, we'll call again when he gets back in after he's out.
That's okay, innit? Anyway, he might not be long. Last time we went in, he was out for a duck, innit?
What did he say?
I'm not totally sure, but I think he's gone out to get a duck.
What? Has he never heard of Tesco home delivery? Never mind, we'd better move on.
So off they went again. Neville, the Baron, Peter Pan, and now Aladdin's Jin, floating along behind in the ghostly apparitional way that fictional Panto characters often do. All a little bit weird, to be honest, but then that's Panto time for you.
Neville, you've been my jailkeeper for some time now, but I don't feel we've ever really got to know each other. Tell me about your background, Neville.
I was born a very poor family of ostrich chasers. We were poor, but we were happy. My parents, they sacrificed everything they had to send me to torturing school. I remember when...
Yes. It's very interesting, I'm sure, but tell me about your background. It looks like some sort of skeleton.
I see this background. This is an era of our French peasants. It is a picture of... are you sure you really want to know?
Yes.
It is... are you really sure?
Absolutely sure.
Okay, it is a picture of... are you really sure you want to know?
Come on, get on with it.
All right, you ask for it. My background is a Napoleon Bonaparte.
Pausing only briefly to give Neville a well-deserved slap round the head, the Baron and his entourage set off once again to find the next occupant in the dungeon. For some time they wandered down the damp, dank corridors until they arrived at the next apartment.
This is where Snow White lives with her 5 dwarfs.
I'll have to have another word about subletting.
I thought she had 7 dwarfs.
No longer, it seems. It's the rule of 6, you see. Obviously, Sneezy had to go right at the beginning. And then she's been having a lot of problems with Gropey, so he was out next. Now there's just the 5 of them.
So the Baron, Neville, Jack and Peter Pan went and knocked at Snow White's door.
For crying out loud, what is it now? Can't you see I'm rushed off my feet as it is, tidying up after these little buggers, without having to answer the door every 5 minutes? This had better be important.
It is moi, Neville. I am here with the Baron. We need to ask you a question.
Okay, hang on. Oi, Dozy, get out of my way before I give you a good clout round the ear-roll. Sorry, Baron, but that Dozy is a complete fantasist.
Ah, you mean he lives in his own little dream world?
No, a fantasist. He really likes fizzy orange drinks.
Ah, I see. Of course. Now, Miss White, I need to ask you a very important question. Have you or any of your dwarfs seen Neville? Neville, I need an alternative word for coffers.
Let me think. Off the top of my head, how about exchequer, war chest, repository, treasury, casket, a strong box, a series of sunken panels in the shape of a square, rectangle, or octagon, battery low, reconnect charger now. Oh, bugger.
We interrupt this masterclass in overacting to bring you some light relief with a socially distanced lockdown song that you can all zoom along to. This lockdown, I tell you, it'll all end in tears, but I'm not sure if it'll be 1, 2, or 3.
Little boxes, people inside. Little boxes make it slightly tricky when you find you've just been muted and you still got things to say.
Virtual backgrounds like a green field or a big bridge or a cosmic view. The effect is really rather tacky and you'll get muted just the same.
There's a loud one and a quiet one and a dark one and a missing one. We all shout, we can't hear you. You're muted once again.
We'd rather go down to the folk club and drink the blue anchor dry, but we're all in little boxes. Drinks at home are not the same.
Little boxes, all with people, looking like they've smoked some wacky-backy little boxes, all with people, trying to mute them is a pain.
On their sofas, in their bedrooms, in the background, piles of dirty washing, pizza boxes, piles of dishes, off-screen voices, call them names.
Little boxes on the small side, little boxes make it slightly tricky when you find you've just been muted and you've still got things to say.
But the main thing we should mention, which can save you a major aggravation, make sure that when you're muted, that
You were lawyers, even doctors, or business executives, but that makes sod all difference. You'll get muted just the same. But that makes sod all difference. You'll get muted just the same.
We
can't hear you.
I've told you before, don't call me at work. No, I'm narrating. Yes, he's here. Oh, okay, I'll hand you over to the Baron. It's for you.
Oh, hello? Yes, it is. Yes. No, I haven't. No, I can't. But I know someone who can. Yes, I'll pass you over.
Hello, yes, that's me. No, not really. That's right, Napoleon Bonaparte's. Well, don't blame me. I think you should talk to Neville. Yes, I can do that.
Hello? Hello? Well, there's no need for that sort of language. I don't care if you are. I am not standing for that. Here, talk to Snow White.
Hello? Oh, hello. How are you? Very well, thank you. And yourself? And the good lady wife? Oh, you're too kind. What? Oh, yes, probably, but I think Peter Punn would be the best person to help you out. Yes, of course. I'll pass you over. Bye. Lots of love.
Hello. What? No, it's not. Oh, no, it's not. Oh, yes, it is. Just once when I was bending over. Oh, yes, it is. No, absolutely not. How dare you? I imagine you are. Very well. I'll pass you over.
Yeah, yeah, maybe. Dunno. Once I was bending over. Yeah. Bony parts, I agree. Okay, I'll hand you back to the narrator.
Hello, caller? That's not a problem. Bye.
Who the hell was that?
Wrong number. As the Baron was saying,
So, Miss White, have you got any idea where my doubloons might have gone? This Panto's dragging on a bit, and we really could do with some answers.
Doubloons? Doubloons. Doubloons, let me see. Doubloons. How do you spell that?
D-U-B-B-E... Neville, how do you spell doubloons?
Non, non. Yeah, how do you spell doubloon?
Hang on. I'll look at the script. Ah, yes, here we are. D-U-B-L-I-N-S.
D-U-B... That spells Dublins. That's not right, is it? Look, can everybody write the correct spelling down on a piece of paper and share it? Drumins? That's not even a word. Look, I think we're getting rather sidetracked here. It's obvious to me nobody knows where my coffers have gone.
Oh, daddy balloons.
Oh, I remember now. No, I didn't see any Dublins. There definitely weren't any Dublins in those coffers that the dwarves were carrying earlier on.
Right, thank you. I guess we can eliminate you from our inquiry. Hang on a cotton-picking minute. Did you say coffers?
Oh, yes, I did. And while I think of it, there weren't any daddy balloons either in those coffers that the dwarves borrowed to use as goalposts.
Oh, daddy balloons.
You mean to say the dwarves are using my coffers as goalposts?
That's right. Coffers make excellent goalposts when you've run out of woolly jumpers. Here come the little buggers now. Hi-ho, it's home from work we go. Oh, you lot, get your tiny little arses over here. Now, what did you do with the Baron's coffers, you thieving little rat bags?
Don't pick on me all the time.
I'll tell the Baron. And you just make sure you do put them back, or it'll be no many Swiss rolls for you lot tonight.
No!
and so the mystery of the missing coffers was solved. The dwarves returned the coffers that they'd taken from the Baron's strong room, which Neville explained he'd left unlocked because he was having an open day at the dungeon to drum up business.
Neville, you're an idiot.
Jack was last seen rubbing ointment into his increasingly complex, and Peter Punn, the baker, finally finished writing his biography, A Life in the Baking. This book will change your loaf. As for Aladdin's gin, he was never seen again, which just goes to show fame is so ephemeral. So that about wraps up the Panto for another year. I fully expect that you enjoyed it as much as I did.
Same old shite.
Now it only remains to get rid of these scripts. So is everyone ready?
Let's do it.
Hey, don't be childish.
Oh, hi everyone. Sorry I'm late. Did I miss anything?